Take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid. Gospel of Saint Matthew, chapter 14, verse 27. Dear brothers and sisters in the risen Lord, a question we need to ask ourselves: when do we fear? Answer would be candid and vivid from all of us when everything is not going well with us. That time we get scared, frightened, or afraid. When everything okay, when we are happy, can we fear or get scared in those lovely moments of our life? Not at all. Fear is something natural, not only human beings, but for everything that is living on this earth. Excessive fear can be a threat for our life. We need to avoid from the excessive fear that really haunts or threatens our life. The gospel passage that we have today for our reflection, there Jesus himself sending his disciples ahead of him to the other side of the sea, and they have to go by the boat. But Jesus went for something else. He wanted to be alone with God in prayer. He was a God. It was not necessary for him to pray, but he was living on this earth just like any one of us. So he showed us that as human beings on this earth, how important it is to pray to God when we feel that our spiritual energy or power is slowly draining out or becoming less. Most of us, we don't bother about we need more spiritual energy, spiritual power. If at all we thought how much time would I spent with the Lord in silence or in prayer. But most of us are just going like that. Whether we are priests or religious men and women or lay people, no exception. Everybody looks like in the same boat. We are busy in the things of the world. When we are busy in the things of the world, definitely you and I will have fear. But being busy in the world, yet we create time for God is something need to be admired or something marvelous we are doing in our life. Jesus was also living like you and me in this world, but he had time. It is we decide what is must be priority in our life. World things will not take us to a long way, but in the worldly things, if we spare some time for God, that can take all of us long way. Let us remember this point very clearly and practice in our life. From the gospel reading that we have heard or going to read or we already read, there something peculiar happened. Jesus, in the early morning around 3 o'clock, he is going to the boat where disciples were traveling. And early morning in the darkness, If you see something, what else we can label other than something like we see ghost? It's natural to say in that manner when we are in the dark. In the bright, you and I can't say, or somebody we see is looking like a ghost or something evil thing. We can't say. In the dark only we get scared. Somebody walks in the dark. It's natural to say something like that. And Jesus came to the disciples or to the boat by walking on the water. You and I cannot think about walking on the water. We swim in the water or in the sea, but we have not learned. But Jesus had that power and control over the creation that was very much created with the help of Him by God. And we know the attitude of Peter. He wants to do something unnatural or something he want to try different. When seeing Jesus walking on the water, he too wanted to walk. And Jesus gave command, walk, come to me. And he was walking on the water. But as he was walking on the water, his sight went beside and aside in the sea. And he got scared and almost was about to be drowned. And he cried out, Lord, save me. And Jesus said, O you of little faith, why did you doubt? Doubt can save us or doubt can drown us. Let us remember that. And once Peter came to Jesus, and both of them, as they were entering the boat, the sea became calm or the wind ceased. You and I, when we have problems, not small problems, big problems, really that can scare us any amount. But if we allow Jesus to enter in those moments and we believe that Jesus will come to our help, then all that tides, winds that really haunt us will cease. There will be a lot of calm and composure in your and my life. Dear friends, in this life we should not fear of anything as long as how we live, if we live a life pleasing to God, meaning being pure and clean in what? Mind and heart, then there is no fear. Many have lived down through the centuries, just trying and striving very hard, living like Jesus, oh God. And they never got scared about anything in this world. They knew that they are going to be sometime in this world, but permanently with God. That is why, as long as they lived on this earth, they always trusted above everything. They did not trust so much in worldly things, but rather on God and Jesus. And Jesus has assured that I will be with you until the end of this age. In the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 28, verse 20, even we know when things go wrong, we are scared and we don't know what to do. Let us have such faithful years where we time and again get resounded with the words of Jesus. Take heart, it is I, do not fear.